Hey internet homies, this is Nico, your DM for A Fool's Quest. I just want to take a quick second to say thank you for continuing to listen to our show. We cannot begin to describe how much we appreciate every single one of you. Your continued support for our little indie podcast is incredibly flattering. I also want to take a quick second to drop in a quick promo for one of my absolute favorite podcasts. So after this episode, be sure to go check them out. I'll be dropping a link to their show in the description of this episode, so it'll be really easy for you to find. Again, thank you for listening to A Fool's Quest. We really appreciate it. And remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.
Hey, it's James.
I'm Paul.
And Chip from Roll Britannia,
a British Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast with a piratey theme. And we pick up our story in a tavern.
Fine, honestly. Milo! Hello, mate. How's it going?
How many have you
had? I'm fine. But I could do with your help. I've got this chap here, right? He's like an old captain or something. But he's got these amazing stories. But there's this one, he's just not telling me. And I think you could help me convince him. And then we could tell the world. But to do this, we are going to need a lot of rum. So can you get a lot of rum?
Barkeep.
Hey?
Can I get a bottle of rum?
Yeah, of course you can, mate. Free gold, please, thank you.
Grab the bottle. Come with me.
All right.
Mr. Captain, this is my friend. He would love to hear that story that you were going to tell me. And here is your rum.
What be your name, young halfling?
Milo Toscobble.
Toscobble, eh? I knew a Toscobble. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
And please, will you tell us that story? Come on, I've asked you, please.
Okay. Take a seat. You asked me once to tell you the greatest tale of all time. Well, 4 young fools set a course for adventure and a life on the high seas, but found themselves indentured aboard a ship which met with a monstrous fate. But as it turned out, that voyage opened the gate. Now lo, they came from humble beginnings. I seen them defeat creatures you don't even believe in. They set sail from the Sword Coast across the shattered lands, and in the creation of this world in which we now be living, one thing's for certain, they had their hands. So if you'll fill up me tankard to the top with rum, and prepare to set sail for where it all begun, I'll tell you that tale all across the millennia. Listen close now, as we roll Britannia.
Background music and ambience brought to you in part by Midnight Syndicate. Music for the imagination and the perfect musical accompaniment for the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In a world that is not what it seems, and where people are not who they appear to be, where puns run rampant through the streets, and it's hard to tell who the real monsters are. 3 heroes fight to keep the world of Euphrae from ripping apart, and to keep Tim and Terry from getting even more screwed. Now, let's join the Sir Thadeus Trebilcock, the wild magic sorcerer, Malphaedor, the fallen Aasimar Oathbreaker, and the half-satyr, half-halfling bard, Nastly, as they band together in their enduring pursuit of A Fool's Quest.
We're going to escort the prisoners back down to the beach where we left the portal. Mal is going to try to contact the god.
Manannan Mac Lir.
Yeah, that guy.
The god of oceans and sea creatures.
And we figure it's doing it at the beach is as good a place as any.
I rolled a 19 on religion. Do I recall any specific types of offerings or rituals or communing with said
Does
deity.
he like potatoes?
Or loganberries. Or dead mercenaries.
We haven't left this area, so loganberries are still over there, spread across the ground.
You do recall a specific ritual which you can use the loganberries for, that you can smear out into a type of paste, and then you can put it...
Ooh, we're going to make jam!
Pretty much, yeah. Like you smash it into like a berry paste, and then you can put it on some of your rations, some of your bread rations that you have, and you can present an offering on the beach that would...
Sounds good.
Maybe petition, depending on...
What kind of mood he's in.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Do you guys remember what you know about the god, the weapon and the cloak?
Yes.
He's invisible.
He's got an invisible
and he's
cloak.
a bad sword.
And he's got a sword named Fraggle Rock.
Yes.
Also known as the Answerer.
Yes.
What if I didn't ask a question?
I think it's more meant for him to ask you questions.
Don't like that.
All right, so we'll take the next hour, 2 hours. I'm sure the prisoners will be walking slower, and escort them back to the beach.
Says the old man who walks like 5 feet a fucking minute.
It's all an illusion. I'm very spry. I just move slow to make the bad guys think I'm just some harmless old geezer. Once we get down to the beach, is the portal still open?
Yeah. So you guys traverse your way down to the beach. The portal is still open.
So we'll explain to the prisoners where we think they're going to come out, because we don't know for sure if it's going to be in the same spot.
In a cannibal's cabin
Yeah.
in the woods north of Cheddar.
They're going to be coming out into that cabin to a horrific scene.
No, we cleaned it. We got rid of the body.
Well, we got rid of the body, but I'm sure they're still...
Out in the woods.
What is that smell? What are they cooking?
We'll just tell them.
See them eating stew.
They come back.
No,
Ooh, food, yeah.
No stew.
We're
You
so
go through
hungry.
this portal. You'll be in a cabin, we think. Don't touch anything in the cabin. It's not a good place. Just leave, head straight south, and you'll arrive in Cheddar.
We are sending you somewhere incredibly dangerous.
Half a
We
day.
weren't that far out of town.
No. Yeah, we're
out in the burbs.
travel for half a day. You'll be back in Cheddar, and it's better than being here.
All right. Each person thanks you guys in formal Aurelius fashion. They take a deep bow from the waist as they then walk into the portals.
I play a goodbye tune on my kazoo.
Anything specific?
No. It's actually just what's that Sarah McLachlan song? It's just the worst.
The one from the animal commercials.
Yeah, the animal commercial.
Yeah, I don't.
Eyes of an Angel. That shit song.
You kazoo it though.
Yep.
The eyes of
It's the worst.
YouTube, we're gonna need some kazoo videos.
Yeah, man. I don't know where you get them videos, but there's some kazoos somewhere.
At this point, I wonder if we'll have enough listeners that they can kazoo us some of these songs and send it
If
to
anyone
us.
kazoos me a song, I'll give you 5 out of 5 stars immediately. I'll share it on all my own personal social media, not this page.
You get specific call-outs on the podcast going forward.
That's all you gotta do. I want fan art and I want kazoos. 10 out of 10. I'll be very happy with today.
So that's awesome.
Or beer, but I don't know. It's not legal to ask for. So do the kazoos.
Okay.
If you can find them, oh my god, it's hard to find kazoos.
It is shockingly hard to find a
Well,
kazoo.
maybe our fans will learn to play the kazoo.
For reference, we're in Michigan. For some reason, there's no kazoo players. I don't fucking know why. It's
Someone has snatched up all the kazoos in
weird,
Michigan.
dude. Side quest: find kazoos.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
All right, so spread some of that loganberry on
Loganberry jam
on a piece of bread. I don't know why I was going to say paper.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
Start working through the ritual to give an offering to Manannan Mac Lir.
You kind of stumble through this ritual as you're going through the
Yeah,
process.
because I've never done it before.
Yep. So you've never made jam coming from your aristocratic spoiled.
Yeah, I know.
I've made lots of jam,
I'm not
so I
happy
laugh
with
at
it.
him the
My
whole
hand,
time.
I don't like getting my hands dirty like that.
He has no sugar, so it's shit jam and just looking at him.
Yeah, it's just like berry mash.
You
Fucking
waste
kazoos.
3 of your day's rations trying to get it spread and then placed in the right the right design, because you also have to not
Just
only
fucking wish, see if I can get a kazoo shipped to my house.
you have to not only make the jam and put it on your rations, your bread rations, you also have to present it in a specific way. And so then you finally present it and you feel like you got a magical aura coming from it that you can then try and summon the god.
The magical
Manannan
aura.
Mac Lir.
The magical aura is that it's just a shitty jam. It's probably food poisoning.
It's just an odd odor. They're old berries. They don't agree well with my.
They actually
my
fermented. They're
stuff.
bringing them back to make some wine or something.
There you go. So I will stand with my feet partially in the water and call out his name.
Okay, so you are holding the offering in front of you, and you're calling out his name, and
Manannan Mac Lir.
the water actually starts to recede away from you, and then you see a large horse and chariot completely made of water. So it's a seaborne chariot drawn by a horse that rises out of the water, and you don't see anything in the chariot. You just see it rushing, and it starts to move quickly towards the land. But before it gets to you, it cuts to the right and creates a large circle around you as well as the portal. So it encompasses you, it encompasses Nastly, Thadeus, and the portal. And the water, as it goes around you in a circle, creates almost like a moat in the sand. So there's just nothing but water around you and this circle of sand that it's created.
I switched my kazoo song to that of like a tense movie music, like
It's an epic kazoo.
It's in the background. I'm like, ghost chariot, don't like that shit. Just keep going on the kazoo. Like, no.
It finally stops, and it stops in the water in front of you.
I will kneel reverently, as I know to do.
Yeah, we should probably all.
In the presence of.
Well, he's not on the chariot, is he? He said
he's invisible.
Invisibility cloak, dude.
Oh yeah, or maybe the
I'm
chariot's
assuming
supposed to
he
take
is.
us somewhere.
Maybe the horse is the god. Who fucking knows?
Maybe the chariot is going to take us.
Malphaedor assumes he's there.
Oh, I can cast fairy
So
fire,
I-
I guess.
Don't do
Is
that.
that offensive?
Maybe.
Yeah.
If I cast it on myself,
Don't-
it's like surrounds us.
Don't cast a spell towards the god.
Well, no, fairy fire is just a.
And while I'm kneeling, I will offer the rations and jelly.
So you hear a deep voice that comes from it. He's like,
I see you've come to my land here. What do you want of me?
We stumbled upon your land, but once we knew that it was yours, we wanted to pay homage to your greatness.
And it is paid?
Enjoy this humble offering.
I will. Now what else do you ask of me?
Perhaps you could grant us a boon in a quest of ours. We seek to topple a very dangerous individual from our land who's rampaging in the ranks of our guild and destroying many lives in his wake. A sorcerer named Duché.
I've heard of this Duché. I don't know that it is really any concern of mine.
I switched my bagpipe or my kazoo to very low bagpipe-like noises. Completely unrelated. I'm just doing that in the background. I'm not part of this conversation. I don't give a shit. I'm just back there causing trouble.
Manan takes his hood off, and you can see his face now. He's got long, dark brown hair. Looks pretty just normal, honestly.
He's just a dude.
He is just a dude.
It's a surfer dude.
And
Hey, bruh.
he opens the door to the chariot, which is completely still made of water.
Yeah, I think
So
he
the
just
door
walked through it.
slides open, and he steps off from that onto the beach. And you can see that he magically connects with the land as soon as he touches it. And you're not exactly sure what he's doing, but you know that his look, his mind, his gaze has gone elsewhere for a moment. And then he comes back and he says,
I see that you've rescued the people who are here.
Yes, we have. I know the town they're from, and we liberated their town before we managed to make it here.
But you're fools. You didn't come here for that, did you?
As I said, we stumbled upon this place.
That's interesting. And you still decided to not only save the people in need, but then leave one of the enemies alive.
Well, that was a little bit of personal entertainment. I imitate his accent to try and be more approachable.
This is madness!
And then I continue my tune.
Well, our goal was not to destroy everything in our wake, but to rescue those that have been oppressed by this douche. But I will admit, we do seek a bit of personal retribution. He's personally responsible for killing our guildmaster and many of our top lieutenants. He's wounded our organization greatly, and in the process created a lot of terror to the different towns like Relius and such.
So what is it exactly that you ask?
I know something of you. I know you wield a remarkable blade, and I know there are other versions of your blade. I would love to wield one in this quest to take down Douche in your honor, if you would allow it.
And he stops for a second and he says,
And what do you have to offer me?
What would you have of me?
Well, for the first offering, I'll give you my boon. But for the sword, I'll make this deal with you. I will call on you in a time of need when I need something. At any point, you must follow what I ask. All three of you, regardless of where you're at, you will come together and do as I ask. And, in trade for that, I will give you this stone.
And a stone rises up from the sand in front of you.
This stone works in a very peculiar way. You can activate this stone, any of the three of you, and it will summon my sword to your hand. You can use it one time to fight one enemy of your choosing. Now, a blow from this blade that touches flesh will kill any enemy that it touches. So be sure that whoever you wield it against, you want to die. But the catch is, you cannot wield this sword anywhere on my planet or anywhere on Euphrates. Do we have a deal?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. Just remain on your knees.
And he pulls out this sword and he places it on your shoulder and has the blade touching your neck and he says,
Now, do we have a deal?
We do.
He repeats the same thing with Thadeus.
We do.
And with Nastly.
Yes.
I
was thinking about going, "Aye, sir."
Very good. Well,
If you were bold enough to mock the gods.
is there anything else that you'd be asking of me?
Only your blessing for a safe return.
My boon you shall have now. Now be off my plane.
And he starts to just melt into the water.
Fair enough.
It's good.
I play a
Go through the portal.
I play a jaunty farewell tune and jump through the portal.
Tuck the stone in someplace safe.
Okay. So the boon of Manannan Mac Lir, you each roll 1d4.
4.
1.
3.
Okay, so that's how many days you get the boon.
No.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
The boon is +2 insight and cold resistance.
Oh.
So you get +2 to your insight and then cold resistance for any kind of cold damage or cold environment or anything, which may or may not come in super handy very
And you said +2
soon.
to insight?
Yes.
That means I have a +1.
Yay!
Killing it.
For 1 day. And it's back to -1.
Okay, so you guys go back through the portal. It does lead you right back to the cabin. So you're 2 for 2, ending up right where you started.
Oh, yeah.
What do you...
What do I have to roll? Arcana check to attempt to master that plane?
Yep, you got to roll an Arcana check. That's a DC 17.
Jeez. 17 exactly.
You master it.
Yes.
So make sure you write that down someplace special on your spell sheet or somewhere on your stuff that you can get back to that plane. Now, whether you decide to go there after you just told you to get your asses off that plane is totally up to you. But
next time he summons us there, nope. He's back through. Stop it.
Was it just plane of Manannan?
Nope. The actual world is called
the plane of the sword man.
Ebachers.
Emain Ablak. And you guys actually met a god this time.
Yes, we did. And didn't die.
What, how many different planes are there? I know Thadeus doesn't know. How many planes are we using for the amulet? Like, how many do we have to go through before it's, air quote, mastered?
There are 12 active gods and 15 planes.
Okay.
And the primary god for Euphrae is Greyhawk.
All right. Is it daytime when we come out?
Yep.
In the cabin?
You can come out in the cabin, and if
Are the prisoners there?
Yep. Prisoners are there.
Okay. Cool.
Told you guys to head south.
We just walked through.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Okay. Fuck off.
About your business then.
They start meandering out the door, but they look very confused by you.
I start throwing the extra clothes at them. Like, get out of here. Go.
I want to give them 50 gold for whatever when they get back to Cheddar to sleep in an inn, buy food, whatever. Just give them some money.
I give them one of those jars of peppers if there's any left behind.
Okay.
I don't know if there is.
There were 2 inside the cabin.
They get those jars of peppers.
All right, so they get the peppers and they get 500
Wonder
gold.
if Tim's still out running around in the woods.
Probably.
Wonder if they're in danger.
All right. So now we can continue on our path to Gilead's Landing.
You guys are taking the road to Buxbe.
Yep.
So you go back down the path to the main road, and we need travel checks.
We have a carriage, don't we?
Yeah, we left it at
farmer's
that
house.
Yeah, we left it at that house. Let's go grab that up.
Yeah, and I can take to the skies.
Yep. Who's making the roll? All of us?
Yep, you each make one roll.
I got a 13. Wait, do I add anything
3?
to it?
No, just a 19 or 20 makes something bad.
2.
Or makes something happen. Doesn't necessarily have to be bad.
So
Okay.
you got 2.
Nothing actually
Yep,
happened.
got a 2.
Okay. So yeah, a chariot filled with 3 gag me
Well,
adventures is, especially on a main road between Cheddar to Buxbe is pretty avoided. Like, you do see some people as you travel, but just other people traveling, farmers, woodsmen, nobody wanting to start fighting with you.
I play a jaunty tune the entire time.
I believe you.
Is there any clue? I guess it wouldn't be. I was just trying to figure out if there was a way we could tell how much time had passed, but if they just walked through in the time we talked to the god, then time goes faster there. So we weren't... Thadeus doesn't know this, but we weren't gone very long. Alright, cool. So, keep traveling.
Okay, so you guys continue to travel, and you make it to Buxbe. So if you remember from Buxbe before, there was a human judge named Bryan Mills. Buxbe is a true melting pot of races, classes, and professions. It's located in the foothills just south of Corbin. It acts as a way station for travelers that are moving from Corbin to Gilead's Landing, to Cheddar, or Seaforge. Bryan Mills presides over the miners' settlement, and inside the settlement there are 2 inns of note. Each have a tavern adjoined. The 2 taverns are Giblet's Inn and Stables, which can be seen when entering the town. Giblet's provides a small stable for the horse, as well as a room for each traveler. The story is one story and runs the length of the stables, or the inn is one story and runs the length of the stables. So I don't know if you remember, but the stables are connected to the guest room, and they're separated by a thin wall. So like, let's say on the south side of this wall, you have a spot for your horses, and then on the north side of the wall, which is adjoined to the same stall and it's the same size, is the bedroom that you would sleep in.
So we could walk out the back door into the stall.
Pretty much, yes. Yep. Only there isn't a door.
Is that the one I jumped out of originally?
No. That was in Seaforge.
Oh, I like that one better.
Yeah. And then the other inn, the one that I think you guys actually stayed at, was the Chipped Cauldron.
The nicer one.
Chipped Cauldron.
Yep, that's a 4-story stone-walled building with a slate roof. It was once a manor house, and it has a collection of very fine artwork. The main floor has a common room with a hearth and live music, starting from dinner until they close down the inn for the night. The second through fourth floors have rooms for visitors, and the innkeeper is a tall male elf named Alanon, and it was 2 gold per room per night.
So we can stay here for the night and continue on in the morning?
Sounds good.
So 2 gold for our own rooms at the Chipped Cauldron.
Okay, so yeah, nothing really crazy happens at Buxbe.
Well, it depends. How drunk do we get?
Yeah, I definitely go down to the bar and drink.
Oh yeah, I figured live music you'd want.
I'm a bard, yeah. And so I definitely start playing jaunty tunes in the corner of the bar and drinking away.
Okay, so down there's a person playing a lute and a person playing a fiddle.
Oh, I partner with them.
So you partner right up. So make your performance roll.
Come back here.
Smash it.
22.
22. Oh yeah. So you dive right in. They even have a couple of like songs they wrote themselves, and you're just like, oh no, I'm gonna kazoo this bad boy with you. It is insane good.
Yep.
You get to the end of the night. There's a couple of people around the room. They're like, hey, satyrs aren't that bad. How you doing?
Kazoo groupies.
Kazoo groupies. For sure.
Kazoo.
Come here, cutie. Hey, come
Ask
here.
if they want to buy me a drink.
Yeah, I mean, make a persuasion roll, charisma check.
19.
Yeah, you get a drink from 2 different dudes and 1 chick, so you get 3 different people to buy you some booze, and that pays for your alcohol for the night.
Nice. I drink the beers and I leave.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to typical bard it up. Now I'm out of here. No STDs for me from these fuckers.
NPC STDs.
That's not happening to me. I'm not playing that game. I know how people keep bards under control. I'm not part of that. Not getting involved.
Okay. What do you guys do? Anything during your stay?
They hear my music.
I go down to the bar and have a few drinks, and as I get a little more inebriated, I use prestidigitation to just mess with people.
Like what? Like what do you do?
Knock their cups over so it spills their beer on them.
Oh my god, you're still hot.
I become a little more of a dick when I drink. And nothing super serious.
Well, I'll go down there with you.
Like poking people in the back to make them think the person behind them pushed them.
Hey, like do you get enough to like start a couple fights in the bar?
If that happens because of this, I'm sitting at a table drinking and it's a cantrip, so I can just keep casting it.
Oh yeah, I want to drink with him because between his prestidigitation and my minor illusions, I'm thinking we could get this place hopping.
Like how are you partnering up with his prestidigitation?
I also have minor illusion, and I have what was the other one I had that I could just fuck with people with? Oh, polymorph. Just polymorph in the middle of the bar.
So what are you doing with your minor illusion to help
I can
instigate some of these?
I can actually make it sound like someone says something behind their head or come from a certain direction, like another person.
Listen to me, you. When I catch you, I'm gonna pull out your eyes and shove them down your pants so you can watch me kick the crap out of you, okay? What the fuck?
Okay.
or even like a really bad smell. Accompanied by a large sloppy sound.
Holy shit. Alanon walks by you guys several times, and you reel your hands in every single time as he walks by. Nothing is happening. But he never catches you doing your shenanigans. Two fights do break out.
Awesome.
Based off what you guys do. Anything specific that you guys would like to add to your shenanigans?
No. Generally messing
Thinking
around.
the more we do that, we could get it worked out to a science.
I will say this is the best performance you've seen from Nick McNastly so far. Like, outside of him using magic.
I'll say, that 29 was pretty
Yeah,
dope.
I'm saying outside of, like, you doing stuff, like, for combat or doing stuff for out in the... But, like, as far as, like, in a tavern, doing some craziness, like, he's putting on an epic show with 2 other musicians.
Dude, we could totally do, like, a light show and stuff every time he performs.
Could make some money doing that.
Could. Take a show on the road.
So that's then
Traveling Nastly.
Once I've had my fun and I'm pretty well intoxicated, I'll wander up and pass out.
Yeah, he's old.
Through on him.
Okay.
I'm just amazed that he was up past 7 o'clock.
More spry than I appear.
At some point, someone does bring Thaddeus a cup of hot tea and some oatmeal.
Nothing wrong with that.
How thoughtful, young man.
Where's the cinnamon?
Maple brown sugar.
It's old. Old people love them fucking raisins.
Dates.
Still got some Loganberries.
No, we traded those in. Now I got potatoes.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, that doesn't go with oatmeal.
Somebody drops you a bowl of Werther's.
Yes.
Everyone loves
butterscotch.
Everyone loves Werther's. You just have to be old to admit it. It's fine.
Okay.
40 in like 2 weeks. I'm just about there.
Hey, you can enjoy Werther's in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Okay, so you guys crash for the night. You wake up in the morning. You have very fond... Well, no, actually, the only person that has super fond memories of this town is Malphaedor, who kind of hates this town.
I've probably been here before.
So that whole hobgoblin thing.
You got like a... Let's see. What is that, history?
You've both been here before because you both are from Cheddar.
I got a 13.
Yeah, I mean, you both have been...
Probably hate
Yeah,
this
you
place,
both
too.
are from Cheddar. Like, they didn't have that thing... They didn't have that... Nice trial when you guys went through your trials, but you're very familiar with.
We've been here before.
My trials were too easy. They're just like they're just walking around, just playing music. I'm like, I got through. I don't even really know what the job was, to be honest.
Half your trials were accomplished by like kicking somebody with your feet because you got scared. They were walking behind you. Like zombies walked behind you. You shot your legs out and kicked them.
Yeah, like Malphaedor got electrocuted because something was behind him. I actually just kicked the thing that was going to electrocute me. Like, oh shit!
Nothing sneaks up on you.
Good to know.
What do you guys do?
Keep moving.
Yeah, just kind of keep moving. I'm just
had to
be
wake up in the morning, get breakfast, get back in the carriage, and
okay.
Continue the
head to
adventure.
Gillia's Landing.
I'm gonna look actually briefly before we leave. I'm gonna look around, see if there's any like magic shops or anything that can identify this axe I have. So figure out some stuff about my axe.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I want to go. Is there any accomplished magicians that can help me out here?
Nasty and check out my dagger.
So, you ask around for a magic shop. Alanon asks you why you want to find a magic shop, and you tell him, I assume.
Yeah, I would like to identify
There's
this.
some items that we want to identify.
This axe's powers.
Yeah, okay. So he says, well, there's not really a magic item shop here at all in Buxbe, but what I will say is that in the judge's house, so in the judge's manor, they do have an accountant, and the accountant actually is a magician, and they can tell you what those items are, I'm pretty sure.
I appreciate his advice. I'm going to head over there then.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you guys know all of you know right where to find the judge's manor.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
Yeah, and while they're speaking with the accountant, I'll seek an audience with the judge.
Okay.
Just a social call.
Sweet. So let's do McNastly and Thadeus first. So you go up. The accountant is actually writing in a ledger as you arrive.
Awesome. Hello, I'm sorry to bother your time. I just wanted to see if you could identify this for me. And
he's
hold the axe out,
jotting down in his book, and
Scare the hell out of him.
He's a he is a dwarven. He's a dwarf, and he's sitting there writing, and he holds up his left hand while he's writing with his right hand, and he stops for a second, dips his quill into the ink jar, still holding his left hand in the air, and then goes back to writing. And after about 2 minutes of this, he finishes, puts his quill into the holder, and he says, "What would you like me to look at for you?"
this axe, if you would.
An axe.
Yes, I just want to see if it has any magical powers or bestowments upon it.
He says, it'll be 10 gold for the materials to do this.
I happily pay that. It's fine.
Okay.
Hand him my dagger, 10 gold also.
Okay. So he pulls out 2 scrolls, and he rolls the scrolls open, and you see there the pretty much same exact magic runes are scribbled on the scroll. So he rolls it open, he puts the axe on one, he puts the dagger on the other, then he goes over to a candle, pours the candle wax down on the scroll as well as the item, and the rune lights up. And he says, well, this is interesting. I don't think I've seen these enchantments before, but they're very particular. The knife that you're giving me, this dagger, it's a hunting dagger, and it gives you an advantage while out in the woods. So it helps people who are
rangers.
Yeah, essentially. Gives you an advantage when you're out there. Essentially what that does is you gain advantage on all survival checks to track things.
Okay.
So specifically for tracking.
Gotcha.
Dun, dun, dun. And this axe is... Do you mind me asking where you got such an item?
It's from a battle. I picked it up off of a former enemy.
Okay. Was this enemy malevolent? Jeez. Malevolent in nature?
Yes. That's why he was an enemy.
Okay. Fair enough. This particular axe does additional damage when struck against a human.
Could come in handy, I guess.
So you get plus 2d6 if it connects with human flesh.
Nice. What's its other attack bonuses? Or its basic attack?
It's just a standard axe.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's lame.
I mean, unless you're hunting
I'm not going to attack some humans. That's kind of awkward for a non-human to hold for very long. Just lightly touch the wizard with it, like, what is this going to do?
Just a little poke.
Yeah.
Would you mind hanging out for a few minutes while I catalog my findings on these magical properties?
Yeah. Yes, please do.
Very good. So he harumps as he gets up from his chair. He did everything sitting down. He gets up from his chair, and he's about as tall standing as what he was sitting, but then he takes the first ledger and closes it and puts it into a drawer where it belongs. Then he goes to the other side of the room, opens up another drawer, fiddles with a couple ledgers, pulls out another ledger, goes back, sits down, opens it up, flips to a specific page, and then he takes his quill and he starts penning down his findings, which seems like he's got a pretty big catalog of magical style runes and spells in this book. Okay, over to Malphaedor. You call for an audience with Judge Bryan Mills.
Yes.
They make you wait at first for like 15 minutes, and then somebody walks past you and somebody shows up after you, goes into the room with Bryan Mills, gets called in before you, and then starts to come out. As they come out, they call somebody else's name up in front of you, and it seems that they are ignoring you.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Is there a particular reason why I'm not being granted an audience?
Oh, you didn't have an initial appointment? The half-elf that you're talking to is staring down at her little desk area, and she is not looking up at you whatsoever.
I look at the paper.
It's completely blank. It's got doodles on it in the corners, but like nothing actually written down.
So I point down. Perhaps you could work me in right there between the smiley face and the circle.
I will check in after this current appointment and find out what.
Is there anyone else in the room waiting?
No. So far, the two people who went in before you showed up after you and just got called in right after. And so when they leave, they just leave and somebody else shows up.
Oh, hell no!
I'll exercise an unusual amount of restraint to not be indignant, and but I'll pace in the room while the other person is speaking.
All right, it is an internal struggle for you. On one hand,
yes.
So the door opens and you see Bryan Mills sitting down in his desk. As you're pacing back and forth, you have a clear shot now from where you were sitting before. You couldn't, but you can see a clear shot. He's just chilling at his desk, and the person that he was talking to walks out the door.
As he walks out, I'm going to walk into the door and shoulder check him slightly. Oof.
Whoever
was coming out.
As you walk in, the woman's like, "Sir, you can't go in," and the door closes.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Bryan Mills is like, "Ah, yes. What was your name again? Malphaedor."
Malphaedor.
Bromroyo. Yes. Your wings have gotten a little dark since the last time I've seen you.
I've noticed.
What can I help you with, sir?
Well, I had originally just wished to extend a greetings on behalf of my party and for Gagme. But now I have a question as to why I was being summarily dismissed. Have we fallen out of favor with your establishment?
No, we have suspended all trials with Gagme.
Why?
I assumed that's what you were here to talk about.
I am now.
The last squad of recruits, there were 4 recruits that came to do this. They were killed and brought back to the city and displayed in front of everyone.
The Gagme recruits?
Yeah.
How did they die?
We don't know. It looked like a wizard's doing.
Probably Douche.
Well, there was a letter.
A letter?
That was left at the foot of the bodies.
Do you still have it?
I do.
I'd like to see it.
He opens up a drawer, pulls out a rolled up scroll, and hands it to you and says, "I hope you understand, we mean no offense, but I must do what's right to protect the citizens of the city."
It's a fair assessment. Read the letter.
The letter just says, if you continue to help Gagme with their malicious ways, we will burn the city to the ground.
More like mal-icious ways.
Minus XP.
You're back down to level 4.
So I tell Brian, this letter comes from Douche and his cohorts. They're seeking to undermine Gagme and have already slain several of our upper echelon in Cheddar. And I mean to root him out and destroy him. This will be fixed.
I sincerely hope you're up to the task.
But I also understand your concern for your people. That's admirable. A little communication would have been appropriate.
We sent a formal letter up to Amiriel. I'm sorry we couldn't send it down to Charles, but this we felt like was a little bit above his station.
Charles was Munster's right-hand man.
I don't know if you remember, but Munster reported to Amiriel. Amiriel is the head of the
but now with Munster gone, Charles
Charles
is pretty much acting head of the guild.
Yep. Yeah. We understand.
So, why would Amiriel not wish to convey that to the rest of the guild?
I don't know that Amiriel has gotten the letter yet.
When was it sent?
About a month ago.
What kind of courier?
One messenger on horse.
Has that courier returned?
No, the courier's not returned. But it's through the winter, or it's through the mountains, and it's getting close to the winter season, snowfalls. It's a slower trek.
Well, it's a lot to take in. Sorry to barge in on you, but...
Again, I delayed you on purpose. I was not certain how to address the situation.
So I will return to the group, or regroup with them, and convey both what was in the letter and what Bryan Mills was telling me.
You come back downstairs. They're sitting there watching a dwarf write out painfully long script, and they are clearly annoyed and frustrated, waiting for their weapons that are on this dwarf's desk. And they're just sitting there staring at the weapons while this dwarf is scrolling out some text.
Well, since Malphaedor's already perturbed with the situation at this point, he'll approach the dwarf. put his hands on the desk next to the weapons. Are we done here?
The dwarf is like, starts to say something, opens up his mouth, and then looks up at you and goes, yes. Yes, we are. Slides the two weapons forward.
I poke my head around. I was like, you want to buy it?
The weapon?
Yeah. I have no need for the weapon. I don't plan on hacking only humans. And
it could come in handy, though.
When you do whack a human, it'll be extra damage. Why wouldn't you?
Douche's a human.
Douche's a human? That's only +2.
No, it's 2d6.
2d6.
Oh, I think it's +2.
Yeah.
No, 2d6 damage.
That's more than...
That could be an extra 12, or if you crit, it could...
Is 2d6 plus regular axe, or is it just 2d6 total?
No,
2d6 plus regular axe damage.
Regular axe is 1d6? Or is it 1d8?
I think it's 1d6 plus your strength.
Oh, my strength's really good.
So it'd be, if you hit a human with it, it'd be 3d6.
Yeah, 3d6 plus your strength. It'd be 66.
Fine. I'll keep the axe. I rescind my previous statement.
You don't have to. It's definitely a cannibal axe.
I'll clean it.
It's got little serrated ridges on it.
Guess you can take out the last 2 minutes of conversation. Back to work.
All right.
Okay. Possible additional side quest.
Side quest! Or Nick's tricking us into the main quest he's been worried about for the last 20 minutes.
No, you guys have the main quest. You've had the main quest since like 4 episodes ago.
What if the main quest is the side quest? Don't trust it.
Actually, the main quest kind of is a side quest. You were supposed to get a book that shows you how to close the portals. It's not even you guys going to close the portals. And the portals are a side quest to fight Douche. You guys have gone so far down this rabbit hole. I don't know what to do with you.
Because players.
Yeah. I don't even know what the main quest is at this point.
Players gotta play, man. Who knows?
I think Douche's a good guy at this point. Like, I don't even know.
I mean, we kind of did fuck some people up. They were a little unnecessary.
Well, we're probably the nuisance now.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to do before you leave Buxbe?
I don't think so.
No.
Nah.
All right. Well, here is a good place to stop. You guys are fully rested.
Yeah, we gotta continue making our way to the collective.
Making our way downtown.
This concludes this episode of A Fool's Quest. Join us next time for a more fun and daring adventure. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, review, and comment on your favorite platform to listen to A Fool's Quest.